Hi everyone. I decided to brush my hair and eat some dinner and come back and do a little more content creation because I actually have to put together a bunch of stuff that I've made over the course of the last 2 weeks. I did an absolutely insane order to Premier Yarns for the first time. I mentioned in my previous video, but I'm a huge supporter of them. I love the quality of their yarn, particularly the chenille. And I have been on a little bit of a crochet kick for the past couple weeks. I had some time off from work, so I really wanted to take advantage of that because I knew I had a lot of stuff that I was just really wanting to do for creation. I have a ton of patterns saved, probably too many for me to ever get to in my lifetime, but I did do a pretty good chunk. I am doing this, kind of with the intention of filling out an Etsy shop that I am intending to start, and also market prep because I do really love the markets. I'll talk about that a little bit, but it's really just a great thing for me to be able to get out and meet new people, see new things. So either way, I have a bunch of work to do, which basically includes the fact that I have to put on little details and eyes and things like that on a lot of the things that I created. So I figured it would be a good opportunity for me to kind of narrate as I go through that and get to show off kind of some of my cute little things that I've made that I'm so happy about. So that being said, I guess I'll just choose a topic and kind of chat it out and hope that you guys kind of comment or, add your own little stories to the comments. I would love to hear that. I absolutely love seeing other people get out and pursue their passions, and especially in the creative world, because I am just so passionate about the small businesses and the ability of people to really do things that involve handmade creativity and everything that people are so capable of doing in their minds, and to really to see that come to fruition in their crafts. So while we do that, I guess I will kind of just quick feature the things that I make and then sew on my things that I have to sew on, or my eyeballs that I have to glue on. And for all the things that I feature, I will try to also link the patterns that I used for them. So a lot of things you'll see I made slight modifications to the patterns to kind of make them my own, match my vibe. Other things you'll see they do not look as cute as the pattern because I am still learning how to put faces on things, and for some reason, for someone who's creative, I have a real problem with colors, so I never seem to get them quite right, but people seem to like what I have put out there, so I guess it's good enough. So one of the first things I started doing, I was at a craft fair, my very last craft fair actually. I did 4 last year, from the end of October until kind of mid-December. I had been crocheting for, like I said in my last video, I've crocheted since I was 10 years old. I really did a lot more traditional crochet, but about a year ago, I started getting into amigurumi, which I also just recently found out I have been mispronouncing for the last year. It is not amigurumi, it is amigurumi, which simply looking at the word might tell you, but that's okay. So I started getting into that because it just was such a quick serotonin release. It really made me happy to create these cute little cuddly things. And I found at my markets, I brought a handful of my more traditional crocheted items, and I brought a ton of the stuffed animals, and I really sold well on the stuffed animals. One of the major sellers, I totally just sidetracked here, but what I was going to say was my last craft fair, people were asking me, it was actually a jam and relish stand, delicious, by the way, from a local chef I guess you would want to call them. And they had asked if I had made any foods. And at the time, I did not, but I had seen so many cute things that I wanted to do. So I did go ahead and I did make a couple of foods, which hopefully I'll run into them again. I took their card and maybe they will want some of these things. I think they kind of just wanted them to accent their stand, which is such a cute idea. And I love that. One of the biggest things I've seen at these markets are sellers supporting other sellers. And I think that's amazing. I think everyone just kind of gets into that mentality where they see the small business going and they are just there to support each other. And I just love that. I'm based out of Rhode Island. I've done several craft fairs in Southern Mass and in Northern Rhode Island. I would really like to start branching out into the bigger fairs. I think I got a lot of really positive feedback on the fairs about the quality of my products and about the cuteness of my products. So I definitely want to start branching out into those other areas. But for this year, or rather last year, we're now on January 3rd, which my Christmas tree is still up, and that's okay. I'm probably going to take it down this week, but I figured it made a nice background. And also I got to feature my new little yarn ball Christmas ornament that I got that I am so in love with. But I basically, yeah, just want to tick. I want to share what I'm doing while I get through kind of the monotony and the tediousness of sewing on eyeballs and faces, which I also just am not very good at. So maybe this will make it more enjoyable for me. So on the fruits and vegetables, so far I've done 3 different fruits. I did this little tomato guy, which he is so cute. It was a free pattern on Ribblr. And I will link it below because I can't remember the name of the content creator. And for that, I am sorry. I am very impromptu here with creating these videos, but I just felt like it was a good time to get it out there. But so I made this little tomato and he is so adorable. Sorry, I'm figuring out where my camera is. But so I made him and I made this little blueberry guy, which is also just super cute. It's from the same creator. I know she's from Australia and it's just, the name will come to me, but if not, I'll still link it. As you can see, I think I need to redo this blush. I just am not in love with the way this looks. But I added the eyes, I added the little leaf I thought was so cute, and I just love the way the top works up to create that little blueberry pattern. So this is my little blueberry guy, and I made 2 of him, and I made 3 tomatoes. I'm not gonna be able to hold all these in my hands, but I made 3 tomatoes. And I also made a lemon, and this is the lemon, and it's just so cute. And I definitely am going to be making a few more things, but this is all I got to for the fruit before my crafting attention span kind of went a different way. So love them. They need eyeballs put on them, so I'm going to do that now. And I guess while I do that, oh God, I forgot to get more glue sticks, so I might have to go off camera for a second at some point to grab those. Actually, maybe I'll do that now. Hopefully I can pause and resume my video. That's what I'm gonna try to do. Okay, I think that worked. I'm super glad it did because I was really concerned when I went into my craft room and I could not remember where I put my glue sticks because I am in the process of organizing that room, and as anyone who is a crafter knows, or an artist in any way, it just turns into chaos so much faster than you realize, especially when you have a really bad yarn buying addiction and you just end up with mounds and mounds of yarn everywhere. And it does not help that that room doubles as my spare room and my guest bedroom, so it's really just turned into chaos. I have a friend coming over on Saturday, so I really do want to get that cleaned up so that she does not have to sleep in a pile of yarn, even though that might be soft and comfy. I'm sure that's not really what she wants to do. So I've really been on a kick trying to do that. I've been off of work for the last few weeks. I say that, but I work, sometimes I have to work through my PTO a little bit, which is no big deal. But I do try to, you know, make sure I am respecting my own personal time, and I do try to make sure that I disconnect for at least some portion of the end of the year. And so I got to do that, so that was fine with me. And I ended up extending my PTO because I did have to work a little bit through that. So no big deal. In the end, it was all fine. But that being said, I have been focusing on doing my craft room, and then I've got my sister coming over and her new husband. They just got married in September, and I am so happy for them. But she is coming over to help me organize my basement, which has also gone a little bit out of control. And now that I've started on the craft circuit, I really need to have somewhere where I can store all my extra materials. So, especially like the display furniture and stuff like that for the craft fairs, it really ends up taking up a lot of space. And I don't have enough room for that in my 2-bedroom apartment. So that's going to be a great help to me to have her help me with that. And I was 100% right. And this is much more enjoyable to do while I'm talking it out with people. But I guess maybe I can talk a little bit about, or kind of jump back to talking about how I got started with crafting and the craft circuits. So I've been making this amigurumi inventory for the last year, and I looked around one day. It was like mid-October. I was completely overwhelmed because I had so much inventory, and I texted my friend, and I said to her, same friend that's staying on Saturday, but I said to her, I'm done. I'm not crafting anymore. Like, this is ridiculous. I have so many items just hanging out in my spare room, and I have nowhere to put anything else. And also I'm like frustrated with the way all my projects have been going. I just, you know, everyone I feel like has that as an artist or a creator. You just have those kicks where you just don't feel like your work is coming out to the quality that you expect. And I was really feeling like that, but I think it was just because I was doing too much. Like, work was really starting to pick up, and I was doing all my crafts. I was trying to find a yarn I liked. I was frustrated because where I used to get the yarn did not carry the colors that I needed anymore. And so I was just like in a negative space for all of about 20 minutes because I had turned off my crafting kick, and I went on Facebook and saw that there was a place right up the road from me that was looking for last minute crafters. And it was that Saturday. This was a Tuesday that I had, you know, given up crochet forever. But it was a Tuesday, and the fair was going to be on Saturday. And I was like, you know what? Ow, 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 ow. Burn. I was like, you know what? I've been saying to myself for so long that I'm, you know, why does it matter that I spend hundreds of dollars on yarn? I'm going to go in and I'm going to sell all of this, so it really doesn't matter. Like, I can buy what I want. That was a year. It was more than a year. It was 14 months from when I first had bought like my first big batch of yarn. Oh, I burnt myself real bad, blister and everything. I don't think I've done that before. Side note. But anyway, so I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it. And I did. I went and I signed up on the website. I talked to the woman. It was a community center in the neighborhood. And I talked to a woman, and I was like, hey, I have all these wreaths, because I had gone on a 3-day wreath crafting kick. And I made like 14 different seasonal wreaths for Thanksgiving and for Halloween, which also came out super cute. And I think I am going to list those on my Etsy eventually as well. But I was like, I have wreaths and I have crochet items. And she actually told me that they did not have any more space in the crochet category. So I was like, oh no, because all I had were those wreaths. And I didn't think that would really be enough. So I ended up just talking to her for a little while. And oh, I don't think I can put eyeballs on these last ones because I left them over there, but that's okay. So I ended up going to her and saying, hey, just, you know, if you don't mind, if space opens up in the crochet category, please, like, can I bring my stuff? Because I knew I had so much of that, and that's really what I needed to get rid of. And now, irony is, I have so many reeds that I need to get rid of. But either way, I was very happy that I asked twice. And sometimes you do have to be a little persistent in business to kind of get yourself to where you need to be. And I asked her a couple times. I was like, hey, any chance that you had any space open up? And on the second time, she was like, you know what, just bring your stuff and we will make sure that we space the crochet vendors out far enough so that it won't be an issue. And I mean, huge nod to them. That's definitely awesome that they are monitoring their vendors. That's really important in a craft fair, that you don't have like 6 people doing the same thing, and you can't make your money back because you don't know what other people are selling, or, you know, if you guys are going to have duplicate items, that type of thing. And so it was really great that she did that. And I was so happy that she did, because it turns out that my items were actually different than the other items that were out there. There was definitely one other artist there who did do amigurumi, but she only had a few items. She did knit for the most part. And I think there was just such a variety of the available animals and, you know, cute little creatures that they could have, that we had, that we really didn't cannibalize each other. So I think that ended up working out really well. And that first fair was amazing. It was super small. There was not a ton of foot traffic, but I actually did really well despite that. And I did have to, when I was going back and kind of looking at what I was doing, I did have to discount for the fact that, like, I had friends and family that showed up, which I was so humbled by. I just kind of had told them that I was going to be doing it, and I couldn't believe that. I had a friend that I hadn't seen in 5 years, same friend that is coming this weekend. And I had not seen her in like 5 years, but I talked to her every day. And she showed up, and her parents showed up with her, who I've known her since I was 10 years old. I've known her parents since I was 10 years old. We had a path through the woods that we could walk to each other's houses. So it was just so amazing to see them come out. And of course they bought from me, and I, you know, tried to discount, but her dad is very firm in the fact that he would not take a discount. But that's okay, because I'm making some free stuff for her mom. So it's okay. I feel okay about that. But I did discount what my friends had bought and my family had bought. And I actually still did well, even after the fees and stuff were taken out. So I was just really grateful for that, for having such a successful first show. And so sure enough, I signed up for another one, and then another one, and another one. And I was very deliberate picking the pace of the shows that I did. I made sure they were small, and I made sure, you know, they were something that I could manage, and I made sure the vendor fees were kind of reasonable, so that I didn't overdo it. Because I do have a tendency to overdo things. In case you ever get a chance to look at my craft room, there is quite a few indicators that I really tend to overdo it, in case what's on my table does not tell you that enough. So I'm going to do a quick pause here to show what I'm going to do next, which is put eyeballs on these little sunflower turtles that I made. They are so cute. I absolutely love them. They work up in like less than an hour. They are absolutely adorable in my opinion. And also a free pattern on Ribblr, which I will link, because I, again, think it's really important to credit original creators with what they have. But I honestly cannot believe how cute these came out. So I'm thrilled with them. And I gotta put their eyeballs on. I do hot glue the eyeballs because I find that I really struggle with placement of these eyes and faces in general. I am just not good at them. So you would not believe I decided to go into like making amigurumi as much as I do, amigurumi as much as I do. But hot gluing them on, definitely something that I felt like was a good thing to make sure I could put everything where I needed to place it. A lot of times I'll crochet and then I'll like sew it on later, and this happens to all of us, but I sew it on crooked and then it turns into some very crooked eyes. So this is how I am problem solving for that. So here we are, little sunflower turtle, so cute. I'm planning to put these up in the shop too after I finish up the inventory here. So yeah, so just kind of getting back to my first craft fair story and how I chose to go about making my market journey. I struggled to know exactly what I would need at these craft fairs, and I was also very concerned because I knew it would be a long day, a lot of lifting. I was by myself at the time, and so I had no idea kind of what I would be able to do and manage for myself. I ended up also then having help at my first craft fair from another friend of mine who is so supportive of my business. She actually she would come to my first couple craft shows and help me do the breakdown, which was huge because you're exhausted by the end of those shows. After the first couple, she actually started to help me with load up and with breakdown, and she stays with me for the whole fair, which is amazing because you don't realize you need to do the little things, like you're starving, like I just need to pop back and eat a snack, or I have to run to the bathroom or something like that. So it was really helpful to me. Not only that, like sometimes I had a line and I was like, oh my God, someone's waiting to check out while somebody else is just talking to me about the craft. And I love both parts of that, but I don't want to hold up the other person while I am chatting about the craft with this person. So it was really incredibly helpful to me that she was able to do that. And so just so much love and shout out to her for being there for me, being truly there for me. But I just felt like that was really important when I was first starting out with my craft fairs, was to do something that was manageable. It was to set a goal that was a little bit ambitious, right? Like it was a lot to put myself out there and to see what would happen. It was financial vulnerability. It was emotional vulnerability. But I decided to take the plunge, and I really have zero regrets about it. I think it was the best thing that I could have done for myself. And I really hope I'm able to kind of see a lot of this come full circle and get myself to somewhere where I am so honestly envious of people who get to do exactly what it is that they love for a full-time career. And I would love to see that. But in starting out, that's really what I wanted to do, was say, hey, I've got this inventory. I'm new. I don't even know if my stuff is good. I don't know if it will sell, but you know what? I'm going to try it. And so I did. It was 4 hours of my life, more like 6 with setup and breakdown. And it was so rewarding to meet people, to get that shared connection with other crafters. There was like a little girl across from me who was making these bracelets that were so cute. I bought one for each of my sisters for Christmas and 2 for myself. But she was out there like all of her 14 years old with these kind of professionally packaged products, just doing her thing. And I really thought that that was the greatest thing to see that really young entrepreneurial spirit. And kudos to her and to her family, because you know her mom was driving her there. Their family actually bought the majority of items for me. It was ridiculous. But they were super great. They were obviously all local crafters and creators too. And it was just so nice to meet all the different people at these fairs. So I'm really just grateful for that. It's, been a long few years with all of us kind of experiencing COVID. My whole work dynamic changed. I think like a lot of companies, my job went to basically a full-time, I lost my glue gun. full-time work from home model, definitely for the 3 years, but we've actually switched to a more flexible remote model now, because people have just become so accustomed to working at home, and that's great, but it also comes with a little bit of isolation. So to get back out there in the world and to really be able to interact with people again was just super rewarding, and great for me. I'm very happy to have been able to do that. So I feel like that's probably a good start. I feel like I probably talked your ears off. I will maybe finish up these other 2 turtles. So cute when they come together. And check back in with you all. I have no idea really what is the best things to kind of talk about here. So if there are any comments or suggestions or things that people who are just starting out like me want to know, I would be super happy to talk about those and give my limited experience and insights on those to be able to help people, because I just love to see how crochet has bloomed and all of the cute things. Like, I could not create anything that I do without these other people, because I really don't make that many original patterns. It is something that I want to do a lot more of, but I would not be able to make any of these things without everyone else having done it. I wouldn't be able to have learned the craft without that. So I'm just so thrilled that there are other people out here doing this stuff. And if there are anything that I could share with other people as they begin their own journey, I would be more than happy to. So definitely please just let me know. And again, Ashley's Amies is the name of my channel, the name of my Etsy shop, and I'm hoping to set that up shortly. It's been 20 minutes since I made my last video, and I haven't done that, but that's partially because what am I going to put on my Etsy if I don't have anything done? But I would love it if you guys checked me out, or if you had anything at all that you wanted me to talk about on this journey, I would be more than happy to. All right, well, thank you all again. It was such a good time talking to you today.